I listened to the episode this morning of Pablo Torre Finds Out, and it's fun. Like, he dropped enough nuggets in the first episode to where it was like, it was pretty damning, and there was some pretty heavy information, and allowed Ballmer and different people to kind of hang themselves a little bit with the information, only for him to slam the casket door this morning saying, by the way, Kawhi Leonard was owed $1.75 million as part of this deal. And about a week before, 9 days to be exact, before he got paid, a floundering company that was bleeding cash, had no money, got a $1.999999.59 million investment from Drew. Do you remember who made that investment?
Yeah, the only other owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, the 1% owner.
How about that? Mr. Dennis Wong, Steve Ballmer's college roommate, his business partner on the Clippers, the real estate guy who got the deal done for the Intuit Dome, was the man who is a smart, sounds like a kind of a savvy money investor guy.
Yeah, they both are. Steve Ballmer's the sixth richest man in the world.
And then Dennis Wong's done great in real estate, only for him to drop $1.99999 million into a fledgling company. And the person, like the insider, was just like they were just like, what is happening? Like, why? Like, we're bleeding cash everywhere. But yeah, we're still paying Kawhi Leonard? Question mark?
All right. Well, first off, this is exactly what I said. Why didn't this happen? You know, when this all came out, it was because of bankruptcy documents that, you know, when you file for bankruptcy, you have to publicly name the lenders in which you are defrauding or that you owe money to. And Kawhi Leonard was one of them, which begged the question, like, what in the world? Why is Kawhi Leonard doing that? I've never seen Kawhi in an aspiration commercial or seen him post about a tree planting service or carbon credits. Like, I didn't know that he was involved. And so that led to the digging and everything else. And it's what it sounds like is like, this wasn't the only time that, you know, it didn't, before bankruptcy was filed, they were owing money to, they were not able to make the payment to Kawhi Leonard as scheduled. And what they did is they swooped in and made sure that Kawhi Leonard got his payday. And listen, it's extremely, I mean, I don't know what you do. If you're Adam Silver, like, you're not going to force a sale of the company when the owner is a 99% shareholder and is the sixth richest man in the world. Yeah. You know, and I feel like Adam Silver in his comments yesterday firmly solidified himself as the worst commissioner in professional sports. But he kept on saying, like, I've got to have basically an ironclad, you know, and I think that's him covering his bases and leaving the door open for Ballmer to keep the team, which the NBA wants. It's dirty business. I think Kawhi Leonard's contract should be nixed. I think they should forsake first-round picks, but they don't have any, so I don't know what you do. And listen, hats off to Pablo Torre and those guys. Everybody made the mistake, including Mark Cuban and everybody else. But I'm a PTFO fan. I've watched a lot of Pablo Torre Finds Out. What Mark Cuban and a lot of these people didn't realize is that he revisits these, and in some of these bigger cases, he releases as episodes, but he doesn't say stick around next week for more Pablo Torre Finds Out. No, I guarantee it, that Pablo Torre knew this piece of information last week when he dropped his first bombshell investigative piece. And
he didn't find this out in the last week. This was there, and he left just enough of the line hanging with the hook down here and the bait on it for Mark Cuban, Steve Ballmer, Adam Silver, all these people to absolutely take it hook, line, and sinker. And once he had all three on the line, Drew, he set the hook and dropped the bombshell episode that I listened to this morning with all the damning information that, you didn't know about it? Well, then why did your 1% business partner also invest in this company right before Kawhi Leonard needed to get paid? And a reminder, his uncle and his camp said that we want corporate sponsorships to pay us. Knowledge. Yeah. Right, but we don't want to do anything.
Yeah, it stinks to high heaven. And listen, I was given a little, I took a pause a little bit after listening to the Cuban episode. that was a 3-hour conversation. They said it said it was 3 hours. They boiled it down to an hour and I think 15 minutes. Yeah. I want to see the other hour and 45 minutes, honestly. I want to get all the way into it. But I give a lot of credence to Mark Cuban. I've talked about it on this show before. I think he's a genius. I think he's a mogul. I think that he is a smart man in a lot of aspects of life. What he does with the cost plus drugs is philanthropic as much as it is genius. Like, I have a lot of respect for Mark Cuban and him as a fellow billionaire, despite having a fraction of the income that Steve Ballmer does. I'll never understand business deals the way those two do, and so I was curious to his thought process in it. And ultimately, I kind of gave a little bit of credence to the fact of, like, you fix this if you're Steve Ballmer and you have Steve Ballmer money. Like, you have the avenues in which to allow this not to become the story that it is if you are indeed purposefully circumventing the cap.
Right.
However, I can't think of a more reasonable explanation. And I don't know if you're familiar with Occam's razor, but Occam's razor, the theory and the principle of Occam's razor is more times than not, the most likely explanation is the explanation.
Yeah.
You can connect dots and have the Always Sunny in Philadelphia map with all the yarn. But 9 times out of 10, or I'll give benefit of the doubt, 7.5 times out of 10, the most likely explanation is the explanation, is the truth.
Explanation, yeah.
And the dots to connect Kawhi Leonard and the tree planting company without involving Ballmer or the Clippers is a lot of yarn.
A lot of yarn.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more that comes out. There's got to be more that's still, because the episode just ended, and not that we need any more damning information that it happened, but it's there. And you're absolutely right. Speaking of Adam Silver's press conference, like, it's so funny to watch him just fledge on these things. Like with this, how he's handling the Clippers situation. Yes, he gave himself an out to not make Steve Ballmer sell the Clippers. And I don't think that's what it needs to happen. There needs to be some punishment. There's been a precedent set there with the Minnesota Timberwolves giving up 5 first-round picks, but they don't have those picks. Yeah, but they don't have those picks. Exactly, and they don't have those picks. So something is going to absolutely happen there. But I don't know what Adam Silver's going to do. It's the same guy who in the same day yesterday also said that he doesn't care if fans are able to watch the NBA and his product.